It's midday. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Citi Prime News, which is live from our studios at number 11 Dr. Morton Loop in Adabraka, Accra. The news is also live across the globe on citinewsroom.com, Citi 97.3 FM on Facebook, and on Citi on YouTube. My name is Wilma Obobi Sakoman, and this afternoon I'm here with
Caleb Kuda.
Coming up over the next 1 hour, Lands and Forestry Committee of Parliament requests details from Sector Ministry on contract involving a private company employed to reclaim government lands.
If you look at Act 999 of the Vigilantism and Other Related Offences Act, proscribes the use of langa. It outlawed it.
Also coming up, government assures national food suppliers of receiving 50% of monies owed to them by close of tomorrow, Wednesday, July 19.
And last week we received 100 million, which is 50% of what is due the suppliers. We have transferred same through the processes to buffer stock.
Still ahead, minority boycotts business of the House again to accompany Asen North MP James Jachikwason to court. And later, 2 persons hospitalized following clash between alleged land guards and wood sellers at Akwetia Line in the Asokore Mampo municipality in the Ashanti region.
Yesterday, we heard that they brought in some tax to come and then destroy, the property that or the work that they were doing. That is what, drew our attention as honorable member that we should come and then see what is happening over here.
We'll bring you details of all that and more on the Citi Prime News, which is also live on all our affiliates across the country. In the Upper West region, we are live on Tumpani Radio, 88.5 in Nadoli and Drapa 96.1 FM. In the Upper East, we are on Rekas 92.1 FM in Bongo Namu. In the Northern region, we are live on North Star Radio 92.1 in Tamale. In the Northeast region, we are live on Nobia FM 98.1 in Nalerugu. In the Western region, we are on Beach 105.5 FM in Takrade. In the Ashanti region, you're listening to us on Focus 94.3 FM on the KNUST campus and on Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we're on Sela Radio 99.1 FM in Dabala and Holy FM 98.5 in Aplao. And in the Savannah region, we're on Kasha 99.5 FM in Damongo.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Grateful for your time this afternoon. We'll settle for the details of our stories now. The Lands and Forestry Committee of Parliament has asked the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources for full details on a contract involving a private company that is alleged to be utilizing the services of land guards. The request was prompted by the Chief Director of the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources revelation during a committee meeting that they have been employing land guards to reclaim government encroached lands. The Deputy Ranking Member on the Lands and Forestry Committee of Parliament, Alhassan Suhini, in an interview on the Citi Breakfast Show, expressed deep concern about this development, emphasizing that the use of land guards has already been declared illegal.
The Chief Director of the ministry, who represented the minister, disclosed that the said Jato was a gentleman that the ministry had an arrangement with, where he reclaimed government encroached land. And in return, government sits with him to determine the cost incurred and sometimes compensate him with parcels of land from the whole that he has been able to retrieve. In fact, he disclosed that in some cases he's awarded about 50 acres of land, like in the Adenta area where he helped them to retrieve land. He also made the point that the gentleman was set up by the government because usually when government agencies go reclaiming encroached land, there is public outcry. And so government hides behind him. And he also had the capacity, such as media men who help him to douse public uproar, members of the judiciary who help him when issues of legality come up during his operations. And he has his own security that he usually will deploy on the land. In fact, he disclosed to the committee that in one instance, there was exchange of gunfire between the security of this gentleman and some other encroachers, leading to the death of about 3 people. But the chief director boasts that this didn't even become a national discussion because the gentleman had his media on the ground who helped for the matter to be covered up. We thought this was scandalous, and we thought there was a need for us to get to the bottom of it. In fact, he was queried as to why the ministry will not depend on the police and the military for such an exercise, if need be. And that is where he made the point that even the police and the military depend on this gentleman to protect land that are under their disposal. And that, so the committee demanded to see the contractual arrangement that the ministry has with the said JATO and the terms and conditions of that contract and how that service was procured. If you look at Act 999 of the Vigilantism and Other Related Offences Act, which was passed in 2019, Section 7 proscribes the use of langar. It outlawed it.
That was the Deputy Ranking Member on the Lands and Forestry Committee of Parliament, Alhassa Sunyini.
The government has assured that the national food suppliers will receive 50% of monies owed them by close of Wednesday, July 19. The government says 100 million Ghana cedis was paid to the food suppliers on Monday, July 17, and it is expected to hit their accounts on Wednesday. The national food suppliers in a media interaction yesterday threatened to resume their picketing on Thursday if the monies were not credited to the accounts. In a statement on the floor of Parliament, the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Brian Echampon, says the government is committed to settling the entire arrears by the end of August this year.
The Speaker, since 2017, Buffer Stock has done big business with the suppliers to the tune of 2.7 billion Ghana cedis. In 2017, it was 81.1 million. 2018, 296 million. 2019, 441 million. 2020, 467 million. 2021, 692 million. 2022, 726 million. Mr. Speaker, Buffer Stock has made payments in respect of 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021 in full. Mr. Speaker, in 2022, of the 726,617,881 Ghana cedis, 500 million cedis has been paid to the suppliers. We still owe suppliers a little north of 203 million Ghana cedis. Such release, Mr. Speaker, we've sent to finance, and last week we received 100 million, which is 50% of what is due the suppliers. We have transferred same through the processes to Buffer Stock. We're hoping that, Mr. Speaker, by the midweek this week, that 50% will be sent to suppliers. Mr. Speaker, I have also assured the suppliers that by the 17th of August, as we commence the payment of the 50%, 17th of July, by the 17th of August, the remaining 50% will be paid.
Minister for Food and Agriculture Brian Echampon, now the second Deputy Majority Whip Habib Idrisu, in his contribution urged the national food suppliers not to be influenced by political entities to picket at the National Food Buffer Stock Company over the debt owed them.
We all saw that the minister was at the offices of the National Food Buffer Stock to ascertain for himself exactly what was going on there. I saw the confrontation with our leadership of the minority side and the minister. And the minister assured them that these suppliers will be paid. For us to hear this news this morning that about 50% of that amount of money have been paid is very welcoming news. Release is very welcoming news. I know the CEO have also engaged the people. He has discussed with them. He's on top of his issues and handling this. But Minister, moving forward, I just think that this release covering 2022, we need to be able to look at the 2023, because as much as we might be looking at solving the problem in 2022, 2023 might be showing its face. And for that matter, I want to join my colleagues to tell you that you've done a very good job. We expect more from you, and we expect that the CEO of National Food Buffer Stock, if this money gets into his hands, to be able to pay these suppliers, and to tell the suppliers that they are not just ordinary and they are not just poor people, and they should not allow people to play into the sentiments and the politics of this, so that they will be encouraged to go and sleep there in the name of the fact that they haven't been paid. Between December and June, when you do supply in December and you haven't paid in June, you cannot say that there's unnecessary delay. Ordinary, you cannot say that, because that's a lot of money involved. And you cannot do a supply in December, and by June, if you are not paid, you are already going to sleep in offices. So they should be guided and know that government will definitely respond to them. They should be guided and know that they are actually doing this supply based on the initiative of this government. Because before, the amount of money allocated for this, when there was no free senior high school, nobody was actually given this opportunity. Jobs have been created for these people. Our students, our wards, our children have been fed free under the free senior high school. So definitely government needs commendation, not condemnation, with regards to this.
Second Deputy Majority Whip Habib Idrisu.
We'll go over the phone lines to speak to a parliamentary correspondent, Ni Ayikwe Okan, for more. Good afternoon, Ni. Many thanks for your time. Now, we know the ministers responsible for the payments of the arrears of the food supplies were supposed to have appeared in Parliament today. We know only the Greek Minister, Brian Champon, has appeared. Have you cited the others?
Well, so this morning we were expecting that the Ministers for Food and Agriculture, Education and then Finance would be in Parliament to answer questions regarding the picketing that was undertaken by the National Food Suppliers at the Buffer Stock Company. But unfortunately, we only had the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Brian Champon, being in the House to present a statement to that effect. We were told by the Majority Chief, Frank Anodonpre, that the Minister of Education was going to join later in the day. But as it stands, we haven't seen the Minister of Finance or Education yet in the House.
Did they give any reason for which they are not in Parliament?
Well, so he said the Education Minister would be in the House, but as it stands now, he is not yet available. So that paved the way for the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Brian Champon, to make a statement where he assured that government is going to pay 50% of the debt owed the National Food Supplies. He made it clear that 203 million Ghana cedis is the amount that government is owing these food suppliers. And on Monday, July 17, as it was indicated or earlier announced by the minister, the funds were actually made available. 100 million Ghana cedi was made available to the account of these suppliers, and it is expected that tomorrow, by the end of the day on Wednesday, these monies would hit their accounts, and that is 50% of the amount. He assured that by the end of August this year, all the arrears, the 203 million Ghana cedis, would have been settled. And we had contributions from the majority members who are the only people currently in the chamber, assuring or actually urging the government, the Minister for Food and Agriculture, to ensure that the situation does not occur again. He should take proactive steps in ensuring that we do not accumulate such arrears in the near future, considering the fact that 2024 is almost near. Government should put in place measures just to forestall similar occurrences. And we had contribution from the second Deputy Majority Whip, Habib Idrisu, who also urged the National Food Supplies not to be influenced by any political entities to resume their picketing, because they are not, in his own terms, ordinary people that need to be toiled around with. So they should just have patience for the government to settle all the arrears owed them. But just to add, woman, that today the minority in Parliament has once again boycotted business activities in the House to solidarize with their colleague, Member of Parliament for Arsenal, James Jati Quayson, who is expected to be at the court today. And if you would recall, they've already made it clear that anytime a member or a colleague of theirs is being prosecuted at the court, or a case against a member is being heard, they are going to boycott parliamentary business just to go and accompany such a member. So today we don't have the minority members in Parliament for business activities. They were expected to pose questions to the Minister of Health and then Minister of Agriculture, but all of them are not around to pose these questions, except one majority MP who was also expected to ask a question. That's the Vincent Echo, as if he posed a question to the Minister for Food and Agriculture. Apart from that, no other MP from the minority side was available to ask questions or even partake in business activities.
Now, sometime last week, we remember the Speaker mentioning that it was wrong that the minority boycott proceedings in Parliament. What is going to happen to them?
Well, so the Speaker made it clear that this was a clear violation of the standing orders of the House, considering the fact that if you are to be absent for 15 sittings without permission from the Speaker, of course, you would have to vacate your seat if you are not able to provide justifiable reasons to that effect. The Speaker made it clear again that they have not officially communicated this boycott decision to him for approval. So it is against the standing orders of the House. But as it stands, we haven't had any explanation from the minority as to what the step would be, whether they are going to write officially to the Speaker to seek permission to continue with this boycott, or they just go ahead with their boycotting without any permission from the Speaker. Since it is not up to the 15 sittings yet, we are yet to get answers from the minority on this particular decision that they've taken. So once they are back, we'll try and then interact with the leadership and find out what the next step would be.
Well, thank you so much for that update. That was our parliamentary correspondent, Ni Ayikwe Okang. We have the voice of the Majority Chief Whip, Frank Anop-Dompre, who was speaking in Parliament today. Let's take a listen.
Except for question 1405, which is advertised in the name of the Honorable Vincent Echo Asifua, member for Old Tafo. All the other questions are advertised in various names of our colleagues in the minority, and they have elected not to be present. So that the Parliament of this Republic cannot wait for them. And hence, as often been the practice, want to appeal to you that the answers to these questions be published, except for question 1405, which stands in the name of the Honorable Vincent. So for Speaker, it's your leave.
That was a Majority Chief Whip, Frank Anop-Dompre. You are still listening to the Citi Prime News live from our studios at Adabraka in Accra. Still ahead in the bulletin, 2 persons hospitalized following clash between alleged land guards and wood sellers at Akwetia Line in the Asakori Mampong municipality in the Ashanti region. We'll bring you details of the story and others shortly. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Ajwapa, what's all this condom business? Oh, I've told her over and over again that she won't get pregnant, and she's still insisting. Oh, isn't she the same person who said we would not have sex till we go out for at least 2 years? For all this time? Oh, and she still can't trust me enough? Ama, when I try to do something small, no, condom this, condom that. So handsome man like me, she probably thinks I have HIV.
Using a condom will protect you and your partner. Condoms are effective for protection against a wide spectrum of STIs and HIV infection. Don't take risks. Use a condom every time. Always come prepared.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Now, the National Association of Institutional Suppliers has given the government a 2-week ultimatum to pay monies owed them since last year. The group, which is responsible for the production and supply of school uniforms to students in public schools, says the government has been reluctant to clear the arrears. In an interview with Citi News, the General Secretary of the association, Amwa Tahir, added that the group also wanted government to review the cost of production for each uniform.
From 2017, we were supplying the uniform for 50 Ghana cedis for one set, school uniform. That's one shirt and one short. And it includes your material, your sewing cost, and everything. 50 Ghana cedis. That was the price until 2021 to increase to 60 Ghana cedis for one set. Look at how things are up now. That price cannot work. Because if I'll break down, khaki for the shorts, 1 yard is 28 cedis. And the material for the top, a yard is 18 cedis. You will need khaki 1 yard at least minimum. Then the top 1.5 yard to get with that one set. The material alone is costing around 58 cedis for one set. So how can we sew at 60 cedis for one set? The material alone is taking almost like 58 cedis. That's not possible. And they have to look at it and increase for us, and that we can't supply. And it will end up collapsing many SMEs in the country, which will not help the country at all. And one is increased to 130 for one set. We met the minister severally, on which we made a proposal to him, but we didn't get any good response. In our last meeting, he said he cannot increase the price since budget is already read, and that unless next year. So we should go and manage the price given us. But not the price too, we cannot work with it. It's impossible. So we're asking the government to come in and increase the price before another thing will happen. Because we can't lose our work. We've been working for this work for almost like years now. Way back before Christmas came. So we can't lose our way of living. No. So the price should go up so we can work with them and supply the uniforms to the schools. They're not happy seeing our brothers in school wearing checks. They're not happy. But can also work and not at a loss. That's not possible too. So in 2 weeks, if you don't hear anything, we'll take our next action, which will not be pleasant for the ministry and for the government at all.
Amwa Tahir is the General Secretary of the National Association of Institutional Suppliers.
The police at Bimbila in the Nanumba North Municipality of the Northern Region are currently conducting an investigation into an alleged kidnapping case involving a headsman. The perpetrators, who are believed to have disguised themselves in police uniforms, remain unidentified. The incident is reported to have taken place in the evening of July 13, 2023, between 9 and 10 p.m. According to the family of the kidnapped man, he was inside his residence with his wife when the suspects forcibly entered the premises and abducted him. The municipal police commander for Nanumba North, Evans Vovon, has been providing more information to Citi News.
And police went to the scene and see where exactly they are staying. And they are staying the outskirts of Babi Township. It is not the middle of the town. It is outskirts Babi Township. And the investigation is underway. And we asked the woman, that is Khadija, to provide us her phone number and that of the husband. And she gave us the husband's number. Even this morning, I myself, I called the number, but the line is switched off. According to the woman, they took her phone together with that of the husband away. So she was trying to allege that they were policemen who came to arrest. But as at now, in my jurisdiction, none of us or Bimbila police never arrested anybody like that. And even the surrounding, let's say, Willinsey and Mandai, that areas, I'm not sure, things of that nature. So as at now, we don't know if it is true that it's police who came to arrest the husband. If it were to be police by now, they should have contacted any of the relatives. So we are now suspecting that either it is the usual Fulani people who have been kidnapping their fellow Fulanis. So we don't know exactly what is happening.
Municipal Police Commander for Nanumba North, Evans Vovon. Now, a youth leader in the Kwabi town, Mohammed Yaya, has called on the police to expedite investigations into the incident.
We are having actually heartbreaking these days, especially within this 1 week. Actually, we can't explain, but our colleague is being picked in the house, and according to the claim by the house people, I mean the wife and those around, they said it's a police car. And when they trace to the police station, they say they are not aware of any arrest in that community. We thought it was just like a joke, maybe a nearby police station. When we pop up around all these police stations, they all claim they don't know of that kind of arrest. We are afraid because when will it stop? Because we do hear it somewhere at Buzunu, somewhere at Savannah region, just what's the name? Salaga. It's been happening. They'll just pick someone there out. We will not know where the person is being sent, and finally, it goes scot-free.
For how long was this?
This one is just 1 week.
1 week.
1 week,
For
yes.
A week now.
We don't know where the person is. So we are raising concern that if this one will happen, and concerns are not, security did not take this one into, serious matters, it may go out of hand.
And what has the police told you?
Actually, today, just even before we come here, we met the police. They said they are still doing the investigation. But in fact, in the investigation for 1 week, we are actually not happy with that. Because actually by now, we should even hear the head of him somewhere. Then we can also trace and find out why the person is arrested.
Mohammed Yaya is a youth leader in the Kpabi town of the northern region.
And now to the Ashanti region, a clash which occurred between alleged land guards and wood sellers at Akwetia Line in the Asokore Mampong municipality has led to the injuries and hospitalization of 2 people. In recent months, authorities have emphasized the need to relocate the wood sellers for the enclave's redevelopment, which has led to resistance. Despite the matter being in court, construction works on the redevelopment have begun. During the clash, wood workers resisting the construction allegedly clashed with land guards who were purportedly contracted by the Asokore Mampong Municipal Assembly. The presiding member for the Asokore Mampong Municipal Assembly, Matthew Amisa, has been speaking to Citi News on the issue.
We have a land here which belongs to the state. Although some people are claiming that they've been on it for a very long time, but being or sitting on that land for a very long time doesn't mean it belongs to you. So the assembly is today have decided to put up, shops for people who are squatting, people who are, trading along the street to have, stores to work within. So that is what is going on over here. And assembly members are here just to see what is happening because it is the project of the assembly.
Some people were claiming that the land belongs to them. We learned they went to court and they did not succeed. Like this morning, there were some misunderstanding there. Can you tell us about that?
As I said initially, according to them, they've been on the land for years, but that doesn't mean that it is yours. They went to court to fight for their right. The court knowing very well that through their investigation, knowing very well that it is for the state quash their case. Yesterday we heard that they brought in some tax to come and then destroy the property that or the work that they were doing. That is what drew our attention as honorable member that we should come and then see what is happening over here. So it is true that they brought some tax. Today we saw some of them, and then they also came. We've talked to some of them, and then they've left.
We learned some people sustained some injuries. And they were taken to the hospital.
Yeah, I heard about it, but it wasn't through any catalysis as people were claiming. I heard it was, that guy was trying to climb the wooden structure over there, and he sustained that cut from the roofing sheet.
What is the assembly doing to find a lasting solution to this so that this project can go?
They went to court, and I think if we all have the belief in our court system, we should use the same system to address the issue over here.
Matthew Emisa is presiding member for the Asokore Mampong Municipal Assembly in the Ashanti region.
The Bono Regional Police is on a manhunt for twin brothers who are accused of stabbing a 17-year-old boy at a popular drinking spot in Brekum. The incident occurred on Sunday, July 16. The victim and the suspects, known only as Harus and Farouk, were friends and had attended a night party at the drinking spot where a disagreement ensued. During the altercation, one of the suspects used a pair of scissors to stab the deceased in the chest, resulting in his immediate death. The body of the deceased, Al Hassan Suleimana, was taken to the Brikum Holy Family Catholic Hospital mortuary for preservation and autopsy. Meanwhile, the mother of the deceased, Hajia Safia Suleimana, has appealed to the police to expedite their investigations into the matter.
Away from that and to some politics, the stage is set for fierce competition as the MPP presidential hopefuls aim to secure a spot among the top 5 candidates who will be presented before 200,000 delegates nationwide on November 4 for the party's presidential primaries. 10 candidates have had their names submitted to the National Council, which is the party's highest decision-making body for final consideration. In the run-up to the primaries, the contenders have wasted no time and are actively engaging with party members and delegates to showcase why they believe they are the most qualified individuals to lead the party in the 2024 general elections. Citi News' Hansen Ajaman puts a spotlight on the campaign of 3 of the top candidates, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, Alan Chamating, and Kennedy Ohene Ejapong.
The polls put 3 candidates, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Alan Chematin, and Kennedy Ejapong, as the top 3 candidates going into the race. It is therefore not surprising the level of attention their campaigns have gained. Kennedy Ohene Ejapong, since July 1, has been to not less than 3 regions. His campaign tour is dubbed a listening campaign, where he seeks to listen to the views of delegates and sell his message to them. Placing third consistently in polls, but an increment in his fan base, the businessman has recently been to regions like Western North, Bono East, and Ahafo. He is currently in the Bono East region. Former Trade and Industry Minister Alan Kojo-Chamatin, on the other hand, has so far visited all 34 constituencies in the Greater Accra region and is in the Volta region beginning this Monday. For Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, being the only candidate with a position in government, his campaign has been a mixed bag, where on some occasions he is on official government assignments, while he finds time to also engage delegates. He has also visited all the 34 constituencies in the Greater Accra region and made some stops in the Ashanti region. The campaigns so far are unique in terms of message and style. Kennedy Ohene Ejapong, per his campaign style, moves from constituency to constituency, where he engages delegates and party faithful on his vision of creating jobs for the youth and improving the welfare of women.
As a member of parliament for the past 23 years, I have to admit that the challenge of the government and the successive governments had been unemployment. And therefore, I've taken it upon myself to make sure I reduce unemployment rate in this country.
For Alan Kojo-Chamatin, who has been down this road on 3 occasions since 2007, his team assembles between 2 to 4 constituencies within a cluster and hold delegates thereby. From our observations, the former trades minister holds at least 3 of such debates since he commenced the tours after his vetting every day. An interesting observation, however, is the use of the famous Iradikasa tune, a song that was pivotal in the John Kufuor's campaign of 2000 as his welcoming song. For Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the strategy has been to gather delegates of a particular constituency at a location and preach the "it is possible" message to them.
If you compare our performance to that of the NDC, you come to the conclusion that the MPP has performed better than the opposition.
The NPP as a party is noted for its emphasis on loyalty and sacrifice, and the 3 leading candidates are not missing an opportunity to remind delegates of their sacrifices to the party. Alan Kojo-Chamatin, who has been running the Drumeso campaign, it's certain that nobody else has earned the right to lead the NPP into 2024 than he. He talks of his contributions to the party since its establishment in 1992.
Since 1992,
Since 1992, I have been with the party and been an influential person within the rank and file. I was the leader of all the notable persons within the party, including the likes of Peter McMenu, Bayredu, Kobne Japon, and Cecilia Dapa.
Kennedy Ohene Japon, on the other hand, talks of his financial contributions to the party.
The year 2016, my Western region, 26 pickups. My Brony, you are doing 40-footer containers.
In 2016, I gave only Western region 26 pickups. I donated other items to the party. This was done across the country. We have toiled and nurtured for people to claim that they rather merit leading the party.
Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, equally, believes his efforts and contributions both as running mate and vice president is a testament of his sacrifice for the party.
Supreme Court. Problem party say why was Supreme Court because when you say court we a politician.
In 2012, when we went to court, the problem was who was to testify. Risks are involved when you go to court as a politician because you can be disgraced, which will affect your political career. A lot of people were afraid, but I took it upon myself to do it. At that time, no one claimed it was their time.
Citi News' Hansen Ajman filed that report.
Lastly, on politics, and the treasurer of the New Patriotic Party in the Ashanti region, Hajia Zainabu Salo, has officially declared her candidacy for the party's parliamentary primaries in the Asawase constituency. She attributes the party's past failures in winning the parliamentary seat to the lack of unity among NPP members there. Hajia Zainabu is determined to change this narrative and has become the second person to pick up nomination forms since the NPP opened nominations for parliamentary elections in orphan constituencies. Hajia Zainabu, who is also the Ashanti Regional Director of the Microfinance and Small Loan Center, MASLOC, is pledging to foster unity among party members and work towards securing victory in the Asawase constituency during the 2024 elections.
Today is my happiest day. I'm aware and I know I'm going to contest. My intention was to pick my forms on Thursday, but surprisingly, my delegate, one from each electoral area, have come together to pick the form for me. I don't have any much to say. I'm so grateful to them. I'm so happy. But I want to tell them that, inshallah, I'm going to be a mother. I'm going to be a sister. I'm going to be a good listener. Whatever direction that they want us to do, I'm going to do it. The problem that we are facing as Asawase is lack of unity. But I'm assuring them that if I become the candidate, or if I will start my campaign, I'll beg them that they should vote for me, so that we're able to bring unity among the party. Our intention and our agenda as an MPP is to break the 8. But you can't break the 8 without unity. As Asawase MPP, we are more than even NDC. But because we are not united, anytime we attempt to get a parliamentary candidate in Asawase, it becomes very difficult because of the faction. We have about 4 factions in Asawase. I don't belong to any of the factions. I belong to myself. I've been a regional treasurer for the New Patriotic Party for almost 12 years now. I've been also a national council member for almost 12 years now. We were elected when the party was in a position. We've tried all our best to work very hard to bring this party into power. And for sure, I'm praying that inshallah with me, we'll be able to win as well as a seat.
Hajia Zainabu Salo is the New Patriotic Party's treasurer in the Ashanti region.
You're listening to the Citi Prime News live from our studios at Adabraka in Accra with me, Wilma Bobisa Coleman and Caleb Kuda. Still ahead in the bulletin, Ghana Tertiary Education Commission refutes claims by University of Development Studies chapter of UTAG of modifying lecturers' positions and conditions of service of the university. We'll bring you details of the story and others shortly. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Home is a reflection of who you are. So you need a wide variety of colors, patterns, textures, and styles to personalize your space so it feels like home. Visit the Orca Deco Superstore on Spinkters Road today.
1xBet Jackpot is here with weekly massive prizes up for grabs. All you have to do is place your bets on any sports game and stand a chance to win. Simply register at 1xbet.com.gh. Use promo code JackpotGhana and place your bets. 1xBet is your key to great victories. Feel like a winner. 1xBet. Gambling can be addictive. Bet responsibly. Not for person under 18 years. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. The Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, GTEC, has refuted claims by the University of Development Studies, UDS, Tamale chapter of UTAG, that they are modifying lecturers' positions and conditions of service at the university. The UTAG members at UDS Tamale chapter have threatened to go on strike due to the alleged cancellations of some positions by GTEC. According to UTAG UDS Tamale chapter, the commission has already begun revoking certain office positions that were previously approved by the University Council. In response, Dr. Ahmed Jinapo, the Deputy Director General of GTEC, says the Commission will hold a meeting with the university's convocation in Tamale on Thursday, July 20, to address the issue.
First of all, we are in touch with UTAG, UDS, as a commission. I have an appointment to meet the whole convocation of that university on the 20th, which is Thursday, 2 o'clock. At the university to speak to this issue. GTEC is not cancelling any position, neither is it varying the conditions of service of any lecturer or faculty of university. What GTEC is doing is to try as much as possible to work with management of all the public institutions in this country when it comes to the tertiary educational landscape to make sure that what they are doing it and they are doing it right. And I must say, that management of these institutions have been very, very cooperative. We're working with them for the past 2-3 months. We finished with technical universities. Currently, there are just about 1 or 2 universities that we need to polish up when it comes to this whole exercise. So in terms of consultation, it's part of our plan to meet with convocation. And when I speak to convocation, I'm referring to UTAG and GAWA. We met them at SD Dombo. We're meeting the same group at UDS. We plan to meet the same group at CK TEDM, and same will apply to KN University. So in the nutshell, we are in consultation with UTAC, and I can promise the general public that there's not going to be any strike because when we meet them and we explain the issues to them, they will appreciate what we are doing, and I think it will be supportive of our exercise.
That was the Deputy Director General of the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, Dr. Ahmed Jinapo.
The University of Ghana says it is currently undertaking the registration process for 27 of its lands located throughout the country. Appearing before the Public Accounts Committee, the university disclosed that 6 out of the 27 lands have already been fully registered. However, the auditor, who was also present at the committee hearing, stated that they had they were unable to verify such claims. The chairman of PAC, James Klutia-Veggie, implored officials of the university to have a working relationship with auditors to ensure smooth coordination.
Mr. Chairman, since the audit was conducted, we've put in place a number of measures towards obtaining titles for all of the university's lands. It's an ongoing process. We have been able to complete some. There's still quite a bit of work to do, and Mr. Chairman, we are progressing on that. Mr.
So
Chairman.
can you give us in summary form how many you have completed the process and how many are still ongoing?
Mr. Chairman, we have completed 6 completely now, and we are still working on them.
So 21 are still
Yes, please, Mr.
ongoing.
Chairman.
Auditors, can you confirm the 6 they have completed and that evidence shows that they are in the process of completing the rest 21?
Honorable Chair, for the 6 completed ones, we can't confirm. All that we know is that the 27 is at the various stages of completion, but we can't confirm the one completed.
I think that my earlier observation is right, that you don't have coordination with the auditors. Is it because you are an institution on your own, so you don't want to let other people to come to you? Vice Chancellor?
No, Honorable Chair, that's not the situation. I mean, we've had some changes at our internal audit directorate. Indeed, currently there's an acting auditor who you can see is not here today because of certain emergencies, and we are going to have a new auditor come in come 1st August. So there's been some changes of staff, and sometimes the coordination hasn't been as it should be. But we are hoping that especially from 1st August, things are going to be smoother.
Addressing concerns over the standard operating procedure at the laboratory at Noguchi, the university said it is in the process of getting it all done.
Chairman, the issue in question has to do with the absence of fee-paying regime on laboratory services to do with the Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research. According to the auditors, they became aware during their audit that there was no standard operating procedure. Management responded and indicated that they were in the process of developing the SOP. Do you now have the standard operating procedure with regards to the laboratory services at Noguchi?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, the draft SOP is currently under review by management, and hopefully once that is done, it will be approved by the Finance and General Purposes Committee of Council.
Chairman, as you know, it's my alma mater. Not long ago, I was a lecturer. But I must say I am pained. This tendency of it's in the process, is becoming one too many. I don't think it reflects well on us at all, quite honestly. So please, let's make sure that we get the job done.
Yes,
we
Mr.
cannot continue the processes in perpetuity.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
He had excerpts of proceedings at the Public Accounts Committee involving the University of Ghana.
Now, the trial of Asin North MP James Jachikwason continued on Tuesday with a cross-examination of the first witness of prosecution after weeks of attempts by lawyers of the accused to stay proceedings. Lawyers of the NDC legislator have filed proceedings at the Court of Appeal over a decision of the trial judge not to stay proceedings pending an appeal on the decision to hear the matter on a daily basis. He has also invoked the supervisory jurisdiction of the Supreme Court to quash the June 16 decision to hear the matter on a daily basis. But when the case was called on Tuesday, the Attorney General Godfrey Yeboah-Dame indicated that none of the applications filed act as a stay of proceedings nor compels the court not to continue with the hearing of the matter. The counsel for the accused, Chachu Chikata, then continued with cross-examination of prosecution first witness. During cross-examination, Chachi Chikata posed the questions to the fact that the accused was cleared by the Electoral Commission to contest the 2020 polls despite a complaint before the commission on the accused holding allegiance to another country other than Ghana. But the witness, Richard Tichimensa, explained that to the best of his knowledge, the decision of the commission was based on information put before it by the accused.
The Ghana Health Service has announced that it will begin the 7th National COVID-19 Vaccination Day from tomorrow, July 19 to Sunday, July 23, with the aim of immunizing about 1 million persons. According to the service, 10 million people have so far been fully vaccinated, with the rest yet to either vaccinate or undergo full vaccination. Speaking at a press briefing to launch the nationwide exercise, Director General for the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kumabwaji, highlighted the existence of the virus despite rumors that it is no more.
As you may recall, on the 5th of May 2023, the WHO Director General, through the advice of the International Health Regulation Emergency Committee, determined that COVID-19 was now an established and ongoing health issue, and which no longer constitutes a public health emergency of international concern. It didn't say COVID was over. It is now established. The declaration does not mean, as I said, that the COVID-19 pandemic is over. What it means is that under the international health regulations, the management of COVID-19 is taking a different approach, that is integrating COVID-19 into existing health delivery mechanisms. The WHO therefore recommends that countries maintain efforts to increase COVID-19 vaccination coverage for all persons to maintain the gains made in our fight against the disease. I have been said earlier, currently over 4 million persons who qualify to receive the COVID-19 vaccine are yet to do so. And an additional 3 million are yet to get fully vaccinated. To protect the population more effectively, it is critical that all eligible persons receive the full dose of COVID-19 vaccine. In view of this, the Ghana Health Service and its partners are rolling out the 7th National COVID-19 Vaccination Days campaign from tomorrow, that's the 19th of July, to Sunday, 23rd July 2023, across the country. This campaign is an effort to intensify our COVID-19 vaccination across the country to bring us closer to our target as we prepare to integrate it into our routine immunization program. Mr. Dr. Chair, vaccination continues to be a critical tool that does not only protect us as individuals, but also safeguard our families, friends, and communities. It is an act of solidarity, an act that demonstrates our commitment to the greater good, and so all should make sure they participate and get vaccinated.
Director General for the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kuma Abuaje. Meanwhile, the country representative for the World Health Organization, Dr. Agatha Guracha Guyo, has assured of commitments to support Ghana achieve a herd immunity against COVID-19.
Ladies and gentlemen, in closing, I want to express my gratitude to each and every one of you for your presence here today. The World Health Organization and its sister UN agencies in Ghana will continue to support the government of Ghana for successful national COVID-19 vaccination campaign and, by extension, the achievement of health for all.
Country representative for the World Health Organization, Dr. Agatha Guracha Guyo.
Now, the advent of Mega 6 Lotto platforms is revolutionizing the lottery landscape due to the integration of technology. These digital lottery platforms introduced by Mega 6 Lotto aim to utilize state-of-the-art digital tools and technological advancement to elevate the lottery experience for players. Emmanuel Saki, the game manager for Mega 6 Lotto, explained in a media interview that the introduction of Mega 6 Lotto provides players with enhanced odds of winning. He added that the company's dedication to social impact initiatives through its Mega 6 Impact Fund demonstrates their commitment to making a positive difference in the society.
Our platforms are the mobile app, the USSD, and then also the website is mega6loto.com. So we want to tell the public that you can play at any time and at anywhere. Our draws are 3 times in a week. We have Monday draws, and then we have Wednesdays and then Fridays. And then also you can watch the draw live on TV3 at 6:50 p.m. and also on our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Live, and all the rest. You can also watch us. Now we want to also ensure that we want to do, but ours you can just take it on your phone. With now everybody is having smartphone. You can download the app, which is a Mega 6 app. You can download it, and also USSD, which you can play on even your young phone. So it's star 266 hash. At any time you can play. Okay, thank you. Mega 6 is actually a 1 to 49. Out of 1 to 49, you are taking 6 numbers, and your chances of winning the six numbers is so high because it's just 49 numbers. Unlike the other traditional ones, which is up to 1 to 90, but we are giving 1 to 49. So in every game that you played, we are telling you that your chances of winning are so high. You can even win as high as 1 million, and you can play at minimum 2 CDs every day and at any time. Lotto gaming is actually for development. Nationally, the National Lottery Authority's main aim is for development. They develop our nation through games. So Mega 6 is also there to play just exactly like what NLA is doing. Now with our Mega Impact Fund that we are using, we say that all the plays that you play, even when you lose, you shouldn't lose hope. We are using it to develop the country through sports, through education, and other areas of development in the country.
Emmanuel Saki is game manager for Mega 6 Lotto.
The National Democratic Congress, NDC, has served notice that the nomination of a running mate for the party will happen after all parliamentary primaries have been conducted. The party's communications directorate says the party is focused on preparing a manifesto to appeal to supporters before taking that crucial decision. Reports already suggest that the likes of business mogul Sam Jonah, retired Commissioner of Police, COP Nathan Kofi Boache, former Deputy Chief of Staff Dr. Valerie Sawyer, founder of Ashesi University Patrick Ewa, and Clote Colley MP Zanet Rollins stand the chance of replacing Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman as running mate. However, the party says the flag bearer is yet to take the decision in consultation with the National Executive Committee and its Council of Elders. Here is Deputy Communications Officer of the NDC, Malik Basintale, speaking to City News on this development.
If you look clearly at the provision of our constitution, it states that the selection of a running mate solely lies in the hands of the presidential candidate, the National Executive Committee, and the National Council of Elders. And so the presidential candidate is supposed to make his choice in consultation with all these two bodies. The National Executive Committee of the NDC comprises some reps from the regional level, together with the functional executive committee, and then our Council of Elders. And so it's been clear. The flag bearer will make his choice. He will consult with the National Executive Committee and the National Council of Elders. As it stands now, we haven't even finished conducting parliamentary primaries in all our constituencies. We still have some outstandings we need to fill in. And we are much concerned about the bread and butter issues of the Ghanaian people. I think that as a people, we must be interested in the manifesto of a political party. Well, one thing is certain. Whoever is appointed as running mate will be much more credible than Dr. Bawumia. And so all those names you keep hearing, I would have been happy if you added this in my name. And I'm confident that I'll better manage the economy than Dr. Bawumia.
Malik Basintale is Deputy Communications Officer of the National Democratic Congress, NDC.
And that's how we end Citi Prime News on which has been live from our studios at Adabaka in Accra. For more news, you can log on to our website, citynewsroom.com. I am Wilma Obuobisa-Coleman, and I did this with
Caleb Kuda.
Up next is the afternoon's edition of the Citi Business News. Many thanks for doing the listening, and do have a good day.